We're living longer, but our later years are fraught with illness and bad health. About me in particular, I'm a long-term student of the science of health. I used to work for the BBC as health correspondent and did a degree in nutrition at University College London, a very premier place for health and nutrition.
What are the common effects of a poor diet?
The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, they estimate that 30% of the US adult population is overweight and 43% obese. That's the 2023-2024, so pretty recent estimate. So we're looking at 73% of people, almost 3/4 of the population, that are either overweight or obese. Over 115 million people, that's more than 1 in 3 of the population, are estimated to have pre-diabetes. And 15 to 30% of those cases of pre-diabetes, which you'll get when you start to become more obese, they will lead to outright diabetes within 5 years if they're not treated.
What is wrong with our current diet? What is the piece we're missing?
The piece we're missing is all those bits of our diet that are contributing to what we call metabolic disease. So metabolic sounds a scary word, but it just means the way we use and break down food for fuel and also for keeping our tissues together and growth as well. Now, what is it in our diet that is causing this problem? Well, in short, it's the classic things of too much refined carbohydrate, especially sugar, and saturated fat, and salt to a lesser extent. But those things are directly contributing to our poor health. And the things we're not getting, fiber and sufficient fruit, vegetables, and other things like beans, lentils, and fruits and so on, containing antioxidants, which help us to counter the effect of oxidation in our bodies. But if you look at our current diets in the US, a lot of them are processed. Ultra-processed food, people will have heard that term. They are the foods that manufacturers are producing as cheaply as possible and filling with cheap materials that are tasty and moreish. Things like saturated fat, sugar, salt, and then refined carbohydrates like refined potatoes and things like chips and other snacks. In fact, in white fluffy bread. These are the things which we're eating a little too much of, well, much too much of. And we're not eating enough from the outside of the store. You can't outrun a bad diet. In other words, you can do an awful lot of exercise, but it's very hard to burn off wanton calories. Don't even try to just use exercise to burn off calories. Eat more cleverly and use exercise to stay healthy, because exercise is absolutely vital to stay healthy, but it's not the tool to bring your weight down. Think about foods which are triggering insulin. What is happening to a lot of people is that they're topping up their insulin because of their feeling of hunger all through the day. So they have a constant state of overdone insulin, which is feeding sugary or glucose into their cells and causing it to be stored as fat. The tool to bring your weight down is to change your diet so you are less hungry.
This is an outstanding teaser for what's coming in June. I cannot wait